Hi, and welcome back to the Attorney Cheat Code Podcast, where we give you the tools necessary to fast track your way to law firm ownership, to not just create the law firm, but the life of your dreams. My name is Alicia Jones, and I am a Texas-based attorney. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that notification button so that you can be notified of future episodes. If you have been here before, then thank you so much for coming back to rock with me. Today, we're talking about systems stack. Before you hire, before you market, before your phone even rings with that first client, you need one thing in place, and that is a system that catches everything that you can't, because you cannot be everywhere. You only have a limited amount of time. You only have a limited amount of resources when you are just by yourself. So you want to make sure that you have a system that can catch anyone or anything that falls in the cracks. Most attorneys actually think that this is something that they can wait on, that they can do it later on, but later is actually too late. Later is when things break. Later is when invoices get missed. Later is when money walks out the door. Later is when fees get negotiated down because you did not set the rules up front. But by having a system in place, you'll avoid these pitfalls. So today, I'm walking you through step by step through your system stack, the exact order to build the first 5 systems your firm needs, so that by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to use, you'll have the knowledge, and you'll understand how to create your own system stack. But you'll also understand how to set your fee schedule so that you never start from a position of weakness, so that you're never negotiating your fees because you are emotionally inclined to, because of the potential caller's sob story. That is not what we're doing. This is not the swap meet. You have a system in place. You're going to have a fee schedule so you can make sure that you are operating in the way that you've already set up and that you're building the firm around you. You may be asking yourself, though, so why do systems even matter? So if we think about it, I'm sure we all know an attorney that they have a firm, they've been around, but they've lost money because they didn't have a system for intake, or they didn't have a system for billing, or even worse, they were quoting the same type of case, the same type of client, different fees, because there was no system in place. There was no fee schedule for them to just look at and say, okay, this is the service that you're asking for. This is a fee that I've set because I've already done the work in the background. Our law degree gives us knowledge, but systems in our pricing system gives us the freedom. It gives us the law firm and the life of our dreams. We want to make sure that we are servicing and helping our community, and we're helping our clients, and we're doing it in a way that allows us to live our dream. Our system means that we've taken the time and we've looked at how many hours is it going to take for this particular service so that I can appropriately assess a fee. When we're thinking about our system stack, so we have 5 systems that we want to think about, and we want to think about them as a pyramid, starting from the bottom, working our way up. The bottom, which is our foundation, is our client intake. When a client calls your firm, when a client sees your firm on social media, or if they email you, or if they go on your website, what is that client experience? What is the catch for that client? Are they having to click through? Is your website convoluted and not easy to understand? Is it hard to find the contact me? But that is one of my pet peeves. How do I contact you? Give me a phone number, an email, an address, something. So when we think about that, our clients expect professionalism from the first time they reach out to us. And that is not necessarily us as humans, but it may be our system, our email system, our website system, our social media system. So today, your today action is to build a simple form. You can even use a Google form. Maybe you have a Google suite. Maybe you have a different suite or a different client management system that you're using. Go ahead and build your client intake. What information do you need from jump, regardless of the type of client that it is? Make it simple and go ahead and do it today. Our layer 2. So first layer is client intake. Layer 2 is scheduling. Because of course, if they are reaching out to you, they need to get on your calendar. They need to sign up for services. They may most times want to speak to you before they sign up for services. So control your calendar with a system. Time is one of your most valuable assets. It's something that is used. We cannot get it back. And if we don't use it wisely, then we live in regret. So you want to think about and pre-block some CEO time for yourself so that when they access your calendar, the times that they are able to choose are times that you've already set and said that you are available. If you want to think about it this way, your calendar is actually like your first employee. Train it and train it well. Train your calendar to think about your life. It's not just your firm, but if I know that, for instance, kids are about to start school, so then, okay, I'm gonna think about it. I want to be available for my kids on the first day of school. Maybe I need to block off my calendar. Or Thanksgiving is coming up. I know I'm going to be out of town, so let me make sure I go ahead and block off my calendar. Or I'm going to go to a continuing legal education, CLE, so then I need to block off my calendar for that. Our next layer is our document storage. Where are you going to protect these assets? As you build these forms, how are you going to house them to make sure that they are in a safe place? So that when you start to add on other people to your firm, when you start to hire and you bring on associates, then you have a master client folder, right? You have that is full of templates. It's a master folder and of course your templates, you're going to update them as you learn more and as you tweak your systems and as you niche down to your preferred area of law, you're going to tweak your templates. But if they're housed in one place, it's going to make it so much easier for you to access them in the future. Our next layer, which may be one of the most important, is our billing and payments. How do you get paid and how do you get paid on time? Cash flow is like oxygen for your law firm. It is what allows you to continue to do what you love to do. It is what allows you to go back and forth to court. It's what allows you to have use of really good systems in place and software. It's what allows you to service your clients and not have to worry about the money. If you have a system in place that tells your clients how to pay you, when to pay you, how is it expected, what is the amount, what are the methods that you accept, all of those things are systems. You have to think about that. All of that is a system. If you're accepting payments electronically, which you should in this year, you should definitely be accepting electronic payments. How do I do that? Do you accept cash payments? And if so, what is the system for that? Our next layer up is the tippy top, and that is our fee schedule. This is something that, thank God, I was told early on from other attorneys, is to set an actual fee schedule of what are you going to charge for whatever service you're offering. Without a fee schedule, you end up negotiating your fees case by case, and that is exhausting. And it also makes you look unprofessional and uncertain, because if I come and you assess a fee of $5,000 and I send my friend and you assess a fee of $10,000, then we're talking to each other behind the scenes and we're wondering what's really going on. Clients feel more confident and more comfortable when you are confident in your price. Even if it's a price that you like, ooh, it kind of makes you take a moment, practice in the mirror, make sure that you're used to it before you get in front of that client and you start to question your own fee. You are worth it. When you have a written fee schedule, it means you have consistency and you have authority. Your written fee schedule is going to say, these are the number of hours that I know that it's going to require for me to do this work. So let me go ahead and put these hours, time my hourly fee, and then that's what I'm going to charge. So when I speak to Tom, when I speak to Jane, it does not matter. This is my fee. You also need to decide, are you doing flat fee? Are you doing value-based fees? Are you doing hourly? Is there a hybrid? Are you contingency? Does the law allow for you to do contingency in the work that you want to do? You want to have almost like a menu. When you think about your fee schedule, it is a few different columns. You have a column that says, this is the service that I'm offering. For instance, if you have family law, divorces with children, divorces with property, each one of those is a different fee because it takes and it requires a different amount of work. You want to make sure that if you want to, it's also an option to make that available to your clients. Maybe they want to see early on, what do fees look like? So then you can say, here's what it looks like to work with us. These are our flat fee packages, and here's what's included. You'll often see that when it comes to estate planning, because it's really not administrative work, but it's really kind of cut and dry. Like, I know if you need these three documents, it's going to take this amount of time. This is the flat fee. It may be a little bit different depending on your area of practice, but then that's your retainer. What does your hourly look like? If you don't set your fees, your clients will set them for you. Let me tell you, they will come in and they will negotiate. The clarity creates confidence in you, and your confidence closes clients. When you think about your fees, if you're negotiating again, you are now the swap meet. You're down there saying, okay, well, I was going to give it. It's around 5, but if you give me 3, then I'll go ahead and do what? No, we are not doing that. Make sure that you know your fees and make sure that you're comfortable with that. Put it all together. You want to think about it again from the bottom to the top, from your client intake to your fee schedule. It is all about your client experience. It is all about how they are going to experience your firm. And if a pyramid is not it for you, think about it as a tower. We want to think about our base tower as our intake. That is how we catch the client. That is how we're bringing them in. That is their first operation with us, the first time they actually see us and feel us and get a feel of how we operate. And they're immediately going to compare that with the other firms that they've called. Your next layer up is your scheduling. This is the control. This is how we're then showing them again, this is how we're professional. Then, of course, we're going to organize, and we're going to make sure that we have all of our forms and our templates in a wonderful place, all housed and nice and neat in our master folder, so that we can make sure when we need to access them for clients that we have them. Next is the billing. How do we bill? What is our hourly? All of those things. How do we receive funds? And then, of course, at the top is our fee schedule, which is of the utmost importance to make sure that you're not emotionally inclined to reduce your fees and to negotiate your fees. With these 5 systems, your firm not just thrives, but it has a backbone. Your firm now can operate without you, because now that fee schedule can be given to your employees, your admin, your virtual admin, your paralegal, your legal assistant, whomever is going to be stepping in place as you create this firm that works around you. Now they have this fee schedule, and they can say, okay, well, this is the normal fee that we assess for that. I can confirm that with the primary attorney, but this is our fee. When we think about our fees, are also some mistakes that you want to avoid. Don't overcomplicate your systems with too many tools. When we're thinking about putting all these systems in place, you don't need 5 different systems for billing. You don't need 5 different systems or 5 different pieces of software so that you can house your information. Yes, you may want to house it on the actual device, but you also want to have some cloud storage. The other thing that people think, again, is that skipping the fee schedule and quoting on the fly is going to lead to success. When you don't have a system in place, it will lead to failure. The other thing that people think is that systems will magically appear once you get busy, or that somehow someone's going to be added to your firm. And it may happen, but the normal is not for someone to come into your firm and then there's a system in place, or that they create a system. When you bring more people, it only highlights the chaos. When you bring more people and you don't have an actual system in place, it leads to failure. It leads to people feeling that they cannot be productive, and it leads to people feeling that they want to leave. And that's not just your staff, but that's also your clients. Even your system of how do I call clients back? All of these things are systems. So I want you to think about that this week. And I want you for this week, just pick one system and get it live. Go live, whatever it is. If it is intake, if it is scheduling, if it is your storage, if it is your billing, if it is your fee schedule, start today. And if I had to choose one, I would say it would be my fee schedule, because that's going to also help me with everything else. Just start the stack. You don't have to start at the bottom with your stack, but start somewhere. Because building one brick today makes the whole tower stronger tomorrow. Starting today removes the excuses of, "Ooh, I don't have this in place," or "Oh, I need this," or "I need that." That does not matter today. I want you to think about the system that is most important for you. Or even if you think about it, what system is most challenging when you think about it and it makes you feel like, "Ooh, I don't know if I can do that." Do that one. Do the hardest system first and then work your way out from there. If you can attack, especially if it's the fee schedule, you can always Google. Speak to other attorneys in the practice area. Understand how other attorneys are assessing fees in your area, in your county, with your years of practice. And then you want to think about for yourself, how am I going to set myself apart? It is not necessarily I'm going to charge less, but maybe I'm going to do more. Maybe I am going to curate my services a bit different. Maybe the way I interact with my clients is different. So now I can charge a little bit of a higher fee than the people in this area of practice or the people with my years of practice. So what we're going to be doing in the future is we're going to be building community around the attorney cheat code. I want us to build together. I want us to support each other. I want us to be able to share templates and go through walkthroughs and really have live support. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. That is something that we are definitely working on in the background. Until then, I want you to know that your systems are important. And I want you to think about everything in your firm as a system. And of course, with the systems that we talked about today, it's really to get your firm off the ground. It's really to make sure that you are going to be successful. It removes the questions about how do I assess fees? What fee do I assess? Is this fee fair? It's you being intentional and taking time to make sure that you've created and set out the systems that are going to build the firm around your life in the way that you want to operate, in the way that you want to service your community and your clients. I know this has been a lot. I am super, super excited about it because I remember doing my first fee schedule. I remember feeling nervous to assess a fee. I think my fee when I first started was like $1,500. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to tell somebody that they're going to need to pay me $1,500 for this service. And you know what happened? They paid it. And you know what I've learned throughout the years? That everyone has and I hate to say it this way, but everyone has a sob story. Everyone is going through something. And those are the times that if they're not able to pay your fee, that's why we have legal aid. That's why we have volunteer lawyers. That's why we have attorneys that do pro bono work. If that is not your calling to do that, then you can invite them to other opportunities in different venues. But for you, this is the fee that you've assessed because you know how hard you're going to work for your client. You know the results that you're going to fight for them. So make sure that you speak with confidence and practice in the mirror. Nobody has to see you. Practice in the mirror saying your fee. Yes, my fee is $20,000 for that service. How would you like to pay? We accept MasterCard. We accept Visa. We accept American Express. Would you like for me to text you a link for that? Yes, I've done it, which means that I've practiced. That means that I have sat in front of clients and I've said fees that I know for any normal person is a larger fee. But at the same time, I know the work that I'm going to do. I know how my team is going to bend over backwards to ensure that our client has a wonderful experience with us and that our client's objectives, their case objectives, are met. I so appreciate you spending this time with me today. I hope that you've learned something. I hope that this has been valuable for you, and I would love to hear about it. Please send me a message or drop a comment below to let me know if this has been helpful for you. And again, if this is your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified of future episodes. And make sure that you share this with other attorneys, other aspiring attorneys, other attorneys that are practicing right now and working for someone else, but they want to build a life and a firm that works for them. Until next time, my name is Attorney Alicia Jones, and this is the Attorney Cheat Code.